affordability keeps coming up. And it's annoying a lot of different people, Tom. Dan, it's just so frustrating right now, that affordability topic on what they're saying. Yesterday, the president, Harry Enton, I want to go into right off the bat, Rob. Harry Enton shows this poll on what's going on with the younger generation, okay? Trump's net approval rating from ages 18 to 29 from February to now. Go ahead, Rob.
As you know, Donald Trump put in the best performance for a Republican presidential candidate among young voters since George W. Bush did back in the early 2000s. And, you know, he started off his term, his net approval rating among voters under the age of 30 at plus 10 points. Hey, that's pretty gosh darn good. But you come over now, according to CBS News YouGov, this isn't falling into the water. This isn't going under seas. This is going into a deep, dark, black hole. Look at that, minus 46 points. That is a shift on the net approval of 56 points in the wrong direction since February. My goodness gracious, you know I love looking at these swings, looking how the electorate changes. You rarely ever see swings.
We look at a lot of polls. We almost never see drops this big, this quickly.
Yeah.
Any sense of why? What issues may be driving it?
You know, look, we've been talking about it. You were talking about it last segment with Mr. Matt Egan. It's the economy, stupid. I mean, just take a look here. Age 18 to 29 on Trump and the economy. Back in October of 2024, who did those under the age of 30 trust? Harris or Trump? It was Trump by 10 points, according to the Marquette University Law School poll. Look at where his net approval rating is now on the economy. Minus 52 points. Very similar to what we saw in the CBS News YouGov poll in terms of his overall drop in support on the net approval rating. And this minus 52, it's just stunning. It's just stunning.
Okay.
I mean, John is here
right
with me.
Can pause it right there. Tom, I'm going to come to you first, then I'm coming to you, Dan. Go ahead, Tom. Why do you think this is happening?
Well, Harry pointed it out well. The number one issue in the economy right now, there's actually a couple. And I'm going to leave the iceberg for last. The people are looking for higher paying jobs. They're looking for jobs where they come out of college. And I'm not talking about the kids that studied, European art history and like, gosh, what can I do with that degree? Those are the kids that are mismatched and never should have been studying those topics. I'm talking about college graduates are saying it's increasingly difficult for me to find a job, even STEM jobs. We see layoffs happening, but the number one thing is affordability. What happened under Biden, and we can talk about it all day long, the inflation was Biden's fault, and inflation is back down. Well, it is down. It's down to 3% versus 2%, so it's down. But what happened under all that inflation is cost of housing, cost of insurance, and those are the top two. Car insurance affects the youth 18-29, and housing. And they refer to this, everybody's referring to it properly, as affordability for the up-and-coming generation. So they're like, we supported you in here. Now we're looking for change, and we need to see change so that we can afford to live and we can launch our lives and careers. And that's what's happening with this group. Now, the Democrat messaging has been hammering through the media that, this is all Trump's fault, inflation is Trump's fault. So there's a lot of stick that they're getting on that. But the fact is, Trump's policies are going to make things more affordable, but it's not happening as fast as these people that are looking for housing and looking to launch their careers and lives want. And the Dems are pushing it. And the president can say it's a hoax by the Dem. It is a messaging hoax, but you have to counter it with messaging of your own and definitive things that help bring prices back down.
Dan, how do you address this?
Well, I don't like to disagree on the first topic, but my kid, when he got out of undergraduate school, my daughter took 7 months to find a job, and our son took 9 months to find a job. And they both found jobs, and it was a recessionary time in both cases, by making hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of phone calls, hundreds and hundreds of letters out, going on dozens and dozens and dozens of interviews. And the kids today, because I have a fairly large consortium, it's got almost 40 companies, and the kids go one interview and they don't even call back to find out how they did. So the elitists of that generation, in my opinion, are lazy. I mean, we don't have an affordability problem, in my opinion. All I know is when I bought my first house, and my dad bought his first house that we couldn't afford, he went out and worked overtime. He got another job. The kids don't want to have another job. They expect right out of school to make all kinds of crazy money, six-figure money, and they have no experience whatsoever. So the affordability to me is a matter of choice. They're not looking hard enough and not working hard enough to get a job.
Now, what do you think when you see a plus minus 62 points, right, with 18 to 29, and let's just say the president comes up to you and says, you guys are having dinner. It's just the two of you. And he says, Dan, what do you think we focus on to fix with affordability? What would you say?
Well, we sent the wrong message. Okay, I believe that the Democrats, and I don't believe that they do much right, but this particular case, they're doing the messaging better than we are. And so we have to up our game in messaging. And I don't know who's advising the president on giving this message, but he's got to change, and he's got to change. Full disclosure, I knew the president in another lifetime, and he's not quick on change. He's quicker now than he used to be, and he likes to be right. As we all at this table know, he likes to be right, and he abhors people that tell him he's not right.
Okay, so messaging would be one issue. Got it. In regards to the kids, you said your kids, one of them took 7 months to get a job. The other one took 9 months to get a job. A little bit more persistent. Maybe that's a good message for the younger audience. But some of the folks may say the following. They may say, and Brand, I'm going to come to you with this one and see what you think about this. Last night, the mayor of Miami, who has been Francis Suarez for the last, 8, 12 years. I don't know how long he's been there. He's been there for quite some time. And his father was also the previous mayor of Miami for another 8 or 12-year Javier, if I'm not mistaken, right? And he famously tweeted at Elon, how can I help? Elon responds back, hey, let's bring jobs to Miami, Francis saying. But last night, the mayor who won last night, beating Emilio Gonzalez, the conservative, was a Democrat named Eileen Higgins, okay? She won last night in Miami, a member of the Democratic Party. She previously served as a member of the Miami-Dade County Commission from 2018 to 2025. Higgins ran in 2025 and defeated Republican candidate Emilio Gonzalez in a runoff, making her the first woman ever and the first Democrat since 1997 to be elected. We're talking 30 years, right? So you got Miami, just from a conservative mayor to a liberal mayor, first time in 30 years. You got New York, goes from a liberal mayor, Adams, to a Democratic Socialist mayor, Mamdani. Two big markets that we're talking about. Brandon, you just turned 30.
Yep.
When you see this happen, and you're a guy, you got bachelor's and master's in national security. You went into school the right way, and then shifted, not wanting to go into national security.
Yep.
You wanted to get into business. What do you think is going on here? You think, is it messaging? Is it actual issues? Is it actual things that's bothering that younger audience that's sitting there wanting to get their life started and saying, hey, man, we got to do something about this? What do you think is going on?
Yeah, I have to agree and disagree with you, Dan. So first of all, the job thing, yeah, I agree. You have to viciously attack that issue. You have to, apply like crazy. I did a lot of crazy things to get here, and I could tell that story. But when it comes to affordability, like it's just an objective fact that it's a much different situation than it was when you were, say, my age. Because the cost of living, like think about how much money we added to the economy just in the last 5 years alone. Like we doubled the size of the money supply. So we always talk about how it took like 2 years of an average salary to buy an average price house in the 70s. Today, it takes like 9 years of an average salary to buy an average priced house. So I know they're like exceptional people are going to make it happen no matter what, but it's like the Pareto principle. 20% of people are like above average and 80% of people are kind of just average people. And when those people can't get by with like just food, housing, and energy, those basic things, that's when you risk socialism. Because like I think the real pillar of a society, like the foundation of a society is a strong middle class. And if you don't have a strong middle class, then you start to have these like socialist tendencies. So that's why I think we're seeing what we're seeing in New York and Miami. And I don't think Trump is handling it well because he's kind of gaslighting by saying that the issue doesn't exist. Like it is a fact that it takes more than half of an average salary to pay for like the basic essential things to live. And that's not a good situation.
Well, I'm not aware that it costs half. That's 50 years ago for me. I just turned 80.
Yeah.
I'm not using that as an excuse, but the numbers, every generation has a reason why they're not happy with where they are economically. Going back to 1900, and the fact that Trump is 1 year younger than I am, and a lot of the people that advise him are almost his age, it's a different reality. It's like it's surreal. And he's got his Kushner, who appears to be a very bright guy, but he's a billionaire. I mean, these guys that are advising him aren't 30 years old, struggling to find jobs.
Point. It's a very good point you're making.
And Lutnick too, the commerce.
But do you understand what point? I really like the point that you're making, because sometimes, you'll have people around you around your age, and if you're not paying attention to what is going on with that generation, you're not in communication with them. Like, even if he speaks to his son Barron, he's not the guy to speak to.
Right.
And by the way, this is why I believe the Turning Point USA audience is very, very important, because they're the ones that are the 18, 19, 20-year-olds coming up that are going to school, that are seeing the issues, that are about to get married, that are wanting to buy a house, that are wanting to have kids, that are like, listen, I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
I think TPUSA could do a great job right now with their audience on running a survey with their audience of the 16 to 29, 18 to 29, and asking them questions to get some intel back from that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's the audience they need to hear on what they're going through to be able to figure this part out. And again, this is a big, no matter what anybody says, if Charlie Kirk was here right now speaking to his younger audience, what message would he be giving to them right now, to his Turning Point USA audience? Adam, where are you at with this? Because you're a Miami guy. You've been here your entire life, minus the 1 year when you lived in your dream destination, Addison, Texas, with the beaches there.
Well,
what do you think is going on here?
I'm with Dan
Miami?
Peña on this. I think we have to stop focusing on the Oval Office and look in the mirror and fix your life. Trump's not going to fix your life. Biden wasn't going to fix your life. Obama, the list goes on. You have to fix your life. Everyone's complaining about affordability. Well, you know where it's pretty much affordable? Outside of every single major city in America. It's called supply and demand. So yes, if you're going to move to New York City, yes, if you're going to move to Boston, yes, if you're going to use the LA, San Francisco, Miami, #1 city in the world at this point, yeah, things are going to be a little bit more expensive because everyone's trying to move there. Nobody's trying to move to Bumble F or to Des Moines, Iowa. Everyone wants to move to the best cities in the world. That's like everyone wants to date the hottest chicks. All girls want to date the richest guys. Everyone lives in the best cities. So Miami, just under Mayor Francis Suarez, just became, in my opinion, the #1 city in America, if not the #1 city in the world. You're in America, you're in Miami, LA's in decline, San Francisco's in decline, New York's in decline, Miami's on the rise, Dallas is on the rise, certain southern cities on the rise. Listen, if life is unaffordable and you're young, get a roommate. There's no guarantee that, I'm an American, I get a house. That's BS. So you may not be able to afford a house. Cool, rent, have a roommate. So the affordability thing, like Tom mentioned, it's the economy, stupid James Carville. It's always the economy. It's always
I'm with that,
pocket
Adam.
issues.
Here's what I want you to think about. Tom, I'm going to come to you next. So here's first, Rob, if you want to play the clip of Trump reacting to affordability, and I'm going to come back to you, Adam. If you can play this clip, go for it.
Affordability is a con job by the Democrats. They say affordable. I watched the other day where some very low IQ congresswoman talked about affordability. She had no idea. Their prices were much higher. The word affordability is a Democrat scam.
Okay, so that's the clip that he's talking about. And then is this the talk yesterday, Rob, or go ahead?
You know, and I said it the other day, and a lot of people misinterpreted it. They say, oh, he doesn't realize prices are high. Prices are coming down very substantially. But they have a new word. You know, they always have a hoax. The new word is affordability. So they look at the camera and they say, this election is all about affordability. Now, they never talk about it. They never talk. Thank you very much. They say I'm not allowed to run. I don't know what the hell that's all about, but that's okay. He said 4 more years. You see the new hat? We have 4 more years.
By the way, while he's saying this, gas prices dropped to the lowest in December 2025. And the last time they were this low, which is around $3 right now, December 2025, was 4 years ago when Trump was president in 2021. That's gas prices, right? Mm-hmm. But what I want you to think about is what he just said right now a minute ago. Dan said affordability could be a messaging issue. And then the other part also Dan said, which is you may need some of the younger audience around you to get a pulse and see what they're going on. What is it right now, national average gas price?
$2.94.
Rob, can you go a year ago to see what the national average was exactly a year ago of where was that? But this is what I want you to think. Mm-hmm. Okay, so give me actual ideas. Because the part about the house, it took 3.5 times your salary to buy a house 40, 50 years ago. It takes 8.5 times your salary today to buy a house. That's a real number, okay? So people
Say those
are,
numbers again. if you
Okay,
don't
it took around 3.5 times your salary to buy a house 50-ish years ago.
Okay.
So you're making 20 grand a year. You could buy a house for $70,000. That's 3.5 times. Today, it's taking 7.5 to 8.5 times salary. You're making $70,000 a year. Do the math. 450, whatever you want to put there, right? 560. So those are real numbers. Car prices in America.
Sky high.
It was first time $50,000 the average car price, right? But then the income is not going up at the same levels.
Right.
What do you do? Trump asks you just purely, cameras off, you're just talking. What do you think we can actually do? Not messaging. What do you think we can actually do to address a few things?
So as far as the individual economy or the affordability?
I want to find a way to make things a little bit more affordable for 18 to 29-year-olds. Give me specific feedback. What do you say?
Listen, since COVID, the game has changed permanently with AI, technology. We're not playing by grandpa's old rules. I say this all the time. The days of I get a job, I go to college, get a job, get out of the workforce, work for the same company for 40 years, get my gold watch, retire, live on the system. I live till 65 and retire. So that is so out the window. It's an outdated, antiquated approach. People are living longer. Affordability is an issue, but affordability has been an issue when the dot-com bust. Affordability was an issue right after I graduated college, 2008.
That's not what I'm asking you. No, don't give me greatest hits. What I'm asking you, if you don't have it, I'm going to go to Tom.
I'm telling you right now.
Give me the ideas.
The ideas is you have to change your own system.
No, that's not what I want to hear.
You're not going to buy a house.
That's not what I want to hear.
But that's the problem.
That's not what I want to hear.
We still think that you're going to buy a house
So
or
then
rent a
I'm going to
car.
come to you, Tom.
You're not.
Okay? I'm not asking you that. I understand what you're saying. Everybody in this room is self-sufficient. This is not this room that we're talking about. Everybody in this room gets up, pays their bills, takes care of their family, takes care of all the stuff that they need to do. We find ways to improve ourselves. This is not this. You just saw a plus minus of 62 points. Tom, he asks you, you can be an analytical thinker. What 1, 2, 3 steps do you give to do things with this?
I'll give you 3 steps. But first, I'll give you the one simple stat. From the day he was inaugurated, Biden, 2021, January of 21, to the day Trump was inaugurated, January of 25, the rents in Miami went up 38% in those 4 years. And that is from numbers from the Miami-Dade Commission. So this is self-reported by a Democrat group who probably is rounding it down a little bit. I saw numbers that said it was really closer to 60% with young professionals that were making $75,000 to $80,000 a year, professional job, coming to Miami, looking for a place to rent, not a white picket fence, not to do all that. So in other words, we have incredible cost, and they have insurance. That's real. So don't use the word affordable. Just say, how do we bring down insurance cost and find affordable housing for people that want to make Miami great, a financial analyst and wants to earn 80 grand to move down here, Pat. Here's what we need. We need very active engagement to reduce the red tape and regulation on builders. And we need the city to open up. There is city land that is sitting in previous industrial areas that is still owned by the city that was long-term leases and stuff. They need to release some of that land. So we saw in Dallas how they built Central Town Frisco. A lot of apartments and a lot of nice areas for people who are going to work there. We saw Central Town, downtown Dallas. We saw the Central Town in Addison. Remember those, Pat?
Of course.
These were planned areas where someone like you, making 75, 80 grand a year, getting the start and living in good, safe, affordable housing. And yes, it is going to be more expensive then. So I think my number one point, Pat, is the city has to take an active engagement with the entrepreneurs that are building affordable housing, number one. And number two, the state insurance commissioner needs to get their act together, because the regulations, restrictions you put on insurance companies causes too many to leave, and then there's not enough insurance and the price goes up, people. So I need the state on insurance. I need the city on building permits, and I need them to start talking about that so that people can hear, oh, someone's out there. And by the way, if there's more units out there, then the relative rents are going to come down thanks to supply. That's what I would be pushing on if I was mayor, because those stats are real.
So why don't we think about this? Okay, when we are in our, and Brandon, you could go to this one as well, but I'll come to you first then. So let's think about our top expenses when you're 25 years old to 30 years old. It's going to be rent or car payment, right? Would you put anything above that? It's probably going to be
Are you married?
You're not married yet. 25. Let's just say not married.
Housing, transportation, and then food and beverage.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
in that order.
Would you say in that order? Housing,
Correct. Housing is number one, 33% of
and
your
then food
overall
is third.
budget.
Yeah.
Then
Okay,
transportation,
so
yes.
address each. Address each. So if you got housing, how do we address it?
Build the
Car, how do you address it? So Tom just said housing, incentivize, which we've talked about, builders to build smaller homes, because we're no longer building starter homes, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. You've talked about this many, many times. It's now we're building 4-bedroom homes. We've seen the charts how it's declined from 45% to now 10, 15% of homes we're building are 2, 3-bedroom homes, right? It's all 4-bedroom because for many different reasons, right?
Yeah.
But think, what do we do with housing? What do we do with car? And then what do we do with food?
Housing is a 3 to 5 year, what he suggested, and I agree with him, it's 3 to 5 years. You got to change the zoning. Did that happen? The councils, et cetera, have to vote on it. The people have to land bank. The builders are going to have to go out and get land and do the planning and get all that approved. That's 3 to 5 years before.
Fast permitting.
Yes, exactly. It's before you put one shovel in the dirt. We need a problem to be solved yesterday, not 3 to 5 years.
How do you do that, though, Dan? That's not easy to do.
No. But now the guy that won in New York City.
Mamdani.
Exactly. He pretends like his system or the socialistic system can do that, but it can't. It's just as slow, if not slower.
You know, every time you see when the economy is bad for the younger audience, the memberships in communism goes up. Membership for communism and socialism goes up. And you'll always see it. You're like, okay, it kind of goes like, you remember after the Great Depression? You should see the memberships into the Communistic Party after the Great Depression. During the Great Depression, it was skyrocketing. Because the messaging was what? The rich people are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. If you vote communism, the government's going to take care of you and they're going to give this. And that's kind of like the younger kids that just came out of college that have been brainwashed for 4 years by economists and professors who are on the liberal side and are part of pro-union. They're like, yeah, the rich people are the reason why you're poor and the reason why you don't have a job. I hate rich people. Movies like Joker comes out where the Joker kills the rich guy in the movie, and these are the bad people. And then you see Luigi Mangione, boom, let me go take out this insurance guy because of what they're doing. And so temperature all of a sudden elevates, right? We love Christmas, and our Christmas merch is officially out. And the hat that we couldn't keep a single one of these. Guys were ordering 50 of these at a time. Rob, can you zoom in on that hat? This hat was such a massive hit last year. We sold 3,000 of them like this. They were gone, okay? I love that hat. And people were buying it as Christmas gifts for others, and then they were sending it to their clients, their friends. It says, Merry Christmas, Future Looks Bright on the bottom and on the side with the VT logo. It's just a sick hat. We got a few hats. One of the hats sold out. This one that says Merry Christ Christmas. Nice. This one sold out. This one's gone. But you have the red one. You have the green one to choose from. And then that one as well, Rob. You have this one. This other one we have as well. If you want to go to this one, Rob, this Christmas on the bottom right. Yeah, right there. And then we have the Christmas. If you want to go and show Vinny our model. Folks, look at our models wearing their, and these come with a nice, look at this. Look at this. This is the Santa. That's the pajamas, right? The Merry Christmas pajamas, the ugly sweater, Future Looks Bright.
They're so comfortable.
Super, super comfortable. Forget about the socks Vinny's wearing that made it in there. Those socks don't come with it.
No.
But they're modeling. They look like a beautiful family. So if you want your whole family to be wearing the pajamas, the Merry Christmas. We also got these sweaters here as well.
Max's
the
truck
ugly
is
sweater.
in there.
This is sick.
Look at that.
Go to vtmerch.com, place your order. And we decided for everybody that does it, we just ordered a few thousand of these. You're going to get the Valuetainment Merry Christmas ornament that we're going to give to you, and the Valuetainment Future Looks Bright, Santa Claus, Merry Christmas. With any order you place, go to vtmerch.com, place your order, and guess what? Kamala Harris doesn't want you to say Merry Christmas.
Yep.
And we don't mind saying it, okay? We don't mind saying it at all. Merry, Merry Christmas to you. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.